welcome to my kotatsu. I am Yumi Megane. So today, I really appreciate you coming to see me. Is it a special occasion or... Well, I'm really glad you're here. And today I will be serving sake. So let me go ahead and make the table nice and smooth. Oh, I could teach you kanji. Let's see. I'm doing the strokes upside down. I think that is rain, or it was moon until I did that. Anyway. Alright. So I have sake for us. I have this sake set with rabbits because I really like rabbits. They represent good luck, and also I really like the Chinese zodiac. I'm a horse, but I get on really well with rabbits. I really enjoy their company. Here is my cup, and here is your cup. Cheers. It's very good sake. You know, they serve sake warm only in winter to, of course, warm the spirit. But if it's summer and they serve it warm, I learned in my geisha training that means it's not high quality sake. It's ideal to serve sake cold if it's got good ingredients and if it's made right. So if it's served warm, out of season, then it's to mask the taste. So hopefully I've taught you a little something about sake. So, what would you like to talk about? Oh, normally we geisha are taught to entertain with songs and storytelling and musical instruments, but I do not have a musical instrument with me here today. So, I can tell stories. Would you like that? Okay, let's see. What type of story to tell? I'll think of one. It's great for these cold winter days. Let's see. Let me look at you. What type of story would you like? How about a story of adventure and a story of romance? Well, once upon a time in China, there was this boy whose father had died, and he lived with his mother, and she worked all day, and he did nothing around the house to help. He just flew his kite with his friends. He was kind of lazy. His name was Aladdin. So he was out flying his kite one day with his friends, and it flew over a wall, and his friends didn't know what to go get it. He was limber and agile, so they hoisted him up over the wall, and he found himself in the garden of the Princess of China when she was with her handmaidens. and she told him that she desired a conversation. So he talked to her, and he fell in love with her based on her personality and her beauty, which was hidden behind those walls from all of China, but her father and the palace life. So he promised that since there had been a decree that only the richest man in China could marry the princess, he declared that he would become the richest man in China. And his mother was shocked because he never did anything, so how would he go about doing that? So he, Aladdin, son of So-So the tailor, went out, and there came a magician from the east who disguised himself knowing that he needed Aladdin. And he approached the boy and said, "I know you, don't I? You must be my nephew." And he said, "I know of no uncle, sir. My father has died." And upon hearing that news, the magician, knowing that he would trick Aladdin, faked grief. He mourned, and he clung to Aladdin, saying, "No, my dear brother." And Aladdin was fooled, and he took him to his household, where he introduced him to his mother, who was suspicious. And his mother said, "I know of no uncle," but the magician had gold, and he gave it to Aladdin's mother, and money made everything right in her eyes. So he proposed taking Aladdin to a far-off place, and they found this rock, and the magician knew where it had been, for he had magic powers, of course. So the magician chanted over the rock and beat it with his staff once, I believe, and he could not enter. I do not know if it was because only Aladdin could enter, or because he was unwilling to risk his life. It's been a while since I've read this story. So Aladdin went down, and part of the cave was filled with flying banners, and all who touched them turned to skeletons. They immediately died. So he was certain not to touch them, and he went past another room full of treasures, and there were men, the bodies of men clutching the treasure, who had just never left the cave and starved, overwhelmed by all the treasure. So he went past that as well, for his uncle, the magician, had instructed him to go past and to find a lamp. And he found the lamp, and on his way up, the gate closed, and his uncle, of course not really his uncle, cursed him and left infuriated. So, I'm sure you know the story, but this is the original story. So, Aladdin went, and he was mourning in the cave. He didn't know what to do. And so he just found a large cavern where it was safe. And he was sitting there wondering, what would my uncle want with this lamp? Unless it's solid gold underneath all this dust. And so Aladdin took the lamp and he rubbed it. And upon rubbing the lamp, it started to glow. And this genie came out. He didn't know what it was. He was scared. So the genie introduced himself and said, "I am your servant." And unlike the newer versions, this genie could grant unlimited wishes. So Aladdin's first wish was to become the richest man in all of China so he could marry the princess. So Aladdin's wish was granted, and the genie took them back to China, where he had lived, and he went to his mother and brought her all of his riches, and she dressed herself as a wealthy woman and bragged to the neighbors. And Aladdin was very happy, and he went to present himself to the king of China, the emperor. his name was not, I don't remember the name of the Emperor of China at the time of this story. But anyway, a man had already been declared the richest man in all of China, so the Sultan, the Emperor, would not see Aladdin. So Aladdin sent in a gift that he wished for from the genie. It was a female dancing doll, life-size, and so she danced before the Sultan and before the Emperor, and he was amazed. So he did allow Aladdin to come forth and show proof of his wealth, which he did. He brought in barrels of rubies as large as apples. So the Emperor believed him to be the richest man in all of China. And let me pour some more for you. There you go. So he allowed his daughter to marry Aladdin. They were wed 3 days hence, and Aladdin wished for the genie to build him a castle as large and as beautiful as any other castle. So it was built, and on their wedding day, Aladdin and the princess moved into the castle with Aladdin's mother, where they were very happy. Aladdin was the only one who could see the genie, though, and his mother didn't really believe him that there was a genie inside of his lamp, whereas his wife, the princess, did. So, one day, while Aladdin was out attending affairs, doing business, he left his mother and his wife in charge of the lamp, where it was secure in the house. The magician, having heard of Aladdin's fortune, knowing that it was the lamp, decided that he would trick Aladdin's mother and bride into giving him the lamp. So, one day, while Aladdin's out doing his own thing, the magician comes by their house, and he is giving away new lamps for old. And he has a cart full of new lamps, and merchants and citizens are going to him, and they're exchanging their old lamps for new ones. And Aladdin's mother, always with an eye for wealth, decided that there wasn't a genie in their old lamp, and they should have a new one. And although the princess defended Aladdin, saying that there was a genie, Aladdin's mother just shook her off, and she went and exchanged the lamp with the genie for a new lamp. And the magician, upon having the lamp, wished for Aladdin's palace to vanish, and he took away the princess and married her for himself. And he was in Africa. That's where he moved the palace and the princess to Africa, where he took her as his bride. And it took 3 years for Aladdin to find him. And on his journey, Aladdin found another genie, a genie of the ring. So, with the help of the genie of the ring, he was able to find his stolen princess, and he was able to find the magician. The princess had tried to poison the magician, but it had been to no avail. He had found her out every time. So she was trapped. She had no escape. So, upon finding the magician, Aladdin snuck into his bedchambers, and he stabbed him. And when the magician was dead, he returned to China, where the emperor had almost killed him for losing his daughter. And he returned the princess to her homeland. They met with the emperor, and their palace was restored to its place in China. And all was well. They were happy. And then Aladdin and the princess lived for many years in happiness. So, that's one of my personal favorite stories. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, thank you. I do know other stories. That's just from the 1001 Arabian Nights, which is a lovely series. It's been a lovely evening that I've spent with you. I truly hope that you have enjoyed this visit, and perhaps we can meet again for some more storytelling, or perhaps I can show you some musical instruments that I'm good at playing, such as the piano, which is a little hard to fit in here. Aside from that, I really just hope you have a great night, and on February 17th, I hope you have a happy new Chinese New Year. Cheers. Oh, and let me sing you a traditional Japanese song. The frog in the pond is calling. The birds and the bees sing Momiji. Who's in the forest calling? Momiji, yes, it's true. The trees shed their leaves. And then it gets a little distorted from there. I hope you enjoyed my traditional Japanese song. I can sing another song if you like, because as a geisha, I am here to entertain. Let us entertain you? Yes, from Gypsy. We are well schooled in musical numbers. Let's see here. What is a nice traditional folk song? No. Well. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And I hope you enjoyed this geisha roleplay. Here are a few facts about geisha. So, in the other video I made where I did my hair, I put coconut oil in it. But, according to Memoirs of a Geisha, because that's where I got all of my information, they used to put wax in their hair to give it those really cool geisha hair shapes, which I was not going to put wax in my hair because that is not good for hair. But I did put coconut oil in, so that's just moisturizing oil. I used face paint for the white, but they actually used I'm probably going to get it wrong, it was a powder, a white powder, it wasn't talcum powder, I'm not sure, I feel like it had to do with an animal, I'm not sure, and I don't know about the other stuff. Let's see, they were trained, they were taken into geisha houses, and they were trained from a young age to be a geisha. They were educated, they were taught to play instruments and to be witty, and also always polite. You never show your wrists, but this kimono is too short for me to do that, so you got to see my wrists. So I guess I could do this. Let me serve you. There we go. No wrists. Just kidding. I'm so immodest. I don't know if this ring is very geisha-y, but I used to wear it in junior high because it was very, I thought it was very geisha-y, like Japanese looking. I really like it. I haven't worn it recently. I can't. So, I now's the time. And this keeps writing up, but ow, ow. I'm gonna do this for you. 1 second, this is just water. I hope that doesn't ruin the surprise. Okay. And one more thing before I leave. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my reflection someone I don't know? That was for you. I hope it's actually up my face, or that wouldn't have been so cool. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this. I know it was kind of silly. I didn't really know what I would talk about. Initially, I was going to do this with Brittany, and we're going to do 2 geishas, and we might still do that, so maybe one day. And I was going to hold off and make this a video for Chinese New Year, February 17th, but I decided against that as well. Although if you guys really like it, I can do geisha makeup again and do another video for Chinese New Year. Or I could be Toru Honda and we could sit on the roof. No, I couldn't do that. But, anyway, I really hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching, and staring straight back at me. I like Mulan.